Welcome to the virtual presentation of the 2020 Celebrating Accessibility Awards. In 2011, the City of Kingston, in partnership with the Municipal Accessibility Advisory Committee, MAC, created the Celebrating Accessibility Awards. We wanted to recognize a person, group, or organization that has made or is making a significant contribution beyond legislated requirements towards improving access for persons with disabilities in Kingston. The 2020 awards will be given out in the following categories: business, community member, and community organization. Our award this year is a poem by local poet Ashley Elizabeth Best. Ashley Elizabeth lives in Kingston, identifies as disabled, and is a talented and well-established published writer who was selected last year by the City of Kingston's Poet Laureate to participate in our Poetry Month event in partnership with Kingston Frontenac Public Library. She has worked with the Kingston Writers Fest and among others, and is currently featured as a writer in Waterloo's Wild Writers Literary Festival.
I'm Ashley Elizabeth Best. I'm a disabled poet and essayist from here in Kingston, Ontario. Constellations. You spend your time divining the body, stories with their own demands. You inhabit a world not built for you, a nebula crack of amethyst expanding in space. The endless work to negotiate a day, to keep pace in the lives of the able bodies around you. A day is a sidewalk with no curb. A day is the 6th month you've waited for a psychiatric appointment. A day is watching your own doctor Google your diagnosis. But a day isn't always 24 hours. One Saturn day is 10 hours, 33 minutes, and 38 seconds. Neptune spins its days every 16 hours, while Venus pirouettes unstoppable for weeks on end. Chains of stars appear slowly to the naked eye. The pulse of their nodes surface like a foliage of fire. They retain their variety in distance. Each star is a new tooth in the mouth of the future.
In the community organization category, this year's winner is the Heart Center. The Heart Center is a nonprofit, charitable community arts hub that focuses on inclusive arts by giving equal opportunities to everyone to be able to learn and to be active in their community. Congratulations to the Heart Center on your 2020 Celebrating Accessibility Award.
So Heart Center has long been recognized for its efforts to advance inclusive arts and culture. One of its many initiatives sees the contracting of recognized community artists who deliver arts-focused educational workshops to adults with developmental disabilities. In those workshops, student participants are involved in learning about various forms of arts and culture. They participate in the collaborative production of arts, and then they share this with the broader public. This nomination, though, was really specifically designed to recognize Heart's remarkable achievements in the timely and effective delivery of educational initiatives in the face of the pandemic restrictions. So in mid-March 2020, Heart Center was closed, so there was actually no on-site participation allowed. By the end of that month, by the end of March, Heart had designed and launched a series of innovative virtual online educational initiatives for students. And what's really remarkable about this is that there actually is little to no prototype for how to do this. So it was a very, very timely response. And we see that they're effective. By the middle of the spring and early summer, they had 50% attendance on virtual workshops. In keeping with Heart's principles, the organization really also focused on trying to identify best practices. And so those are kind of the approaches or strategies that they were learning from these initiatives that were most effective so that they could be shared. And they identified a range of strategies. So, for instance, there were several communication strategies, there were learning processes, there were ways that technology could be used to advance not just participation, but actually active participation, and also highlight and support the social exchanges of students who, like everybody, were dealing with social isolation. They took these best practices and developed a facilitator guide, which became available to all new workshop leaders, but also now has the capacity to be offered much more broadly to people outside of Heart Center who are interested in running these kinds of virtual workshops. In mid-July, the center opened again following the restrictions and the guidelines of local public health regulations, and the decision was made to continue with this virtual online arts education for a variety of reasons. First, Heart learned from its participants that many of them really enjoyed this online learning and that they would continue even when it was in person, and also because many folks could not actually come back to participate in person. I think the other thing that's really remarkable is that Heart treated this not just as a challenge, because it was a challenge, but also as a considerable opportunity. And so certain things or opportunities presented themselves. So for instance, all of a sudden, with this initiative, community artists, not from the Kingston region, could participate. And we also saw students from outside the Kingston region participating. It also led to Heart starting to think about, well, how might these be applied to other populations who are always vulnerable to being excluded from arts and culture, but in the face of a pandemic really are excluded. And so, for instance, they're looking now at how they might take these initiatives and design them for other populations like those in long-term care residences.
In the business category, this year's winner is Cindy McQueen from Roving Dental Hygiene. Cindy is a dental hygienist who is working to tear down the barriers that customers with disabilities face in getting the services that they need. Because of her work, people with intellectual disabilities with often accompanying physical and medical challenges can get the dental and gum care that they need in the comfort of their own homes. Congratulations to Cindy McQueen from Roving Dental Hygiene on your 2020 Celebrating Accessibility Award.
Hi, my name is Lena Sousa. I'm a residential coordinator for Community Living Kingston District, and I nominated Cindy McQueen for the Accessibility Award because she provides a very valuable service to people that I support. She goes into their homes and helps them with their oral hygiene, which is really important, and she has alleviated a lot of anxiety and fear in regards to this, because obviously a lot of people are afraid of going to the dentist. So she comes into their home, gets to know them, and is able to provide them with some very important oral care, and she works closely with dentists as well. She'll advocate if they need any extra care. So I just felt that she was very deserving of this award.
Gary, as you know, Cindy has been nominated for the 2020 Accessibility Awards. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah!
Is there anything you'd like to say about Cindy?
Yeah! Thanks for coming into my home.
She does a great job, doesn't she?
Yeah!
How long have you known Cindy?
One
A
time.
long time. Is there anything you admire about Cindy?
Say careful.
She's careful.
Yeah. And I both rain.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Cindy.
Think on somebody.
And we want to see a picture of that award, don't we?
Hi, I'm Cindy McQueen, and I'm a registered dental hygienist here in Kingston, Ontario. And I'd like to thank Community Living Kingston for nominating me for this award. I've been a mobile dental hygienist I'm in my 10th year here in Kingston, and that means that I travel to clients who can't physically get to a regular dental clinic. So I go to all the group homes, like Community Living Kingston, Ongonata, and I also travel to the long-term care. And I basically see people who need to have dental services and can't access them otherwise.
In the community member category, this year's winner is Valera Kastanov. Valera is a third-year medical student at Queen's who is working tremendously hard to make Kingston accessible for all, for those with physical disabilities, the elderly, the immunocompromised, and otherwise vulnerable and underserved populations. Valera is the founder of K-Health, Kingston's community health initiative, that brings together an interprofessional group of nursing, medical, physical therapy, and occupational therapy students who work together to improve the health and well-being of the Kingston community. Congratulations to Valera Kastanov on your 2020 Celebrating Accessibility Award.
Valera launched K-Health's community support program when COVID-19 first started, to help deliver groceries, essential supplies, and to help run minor errands like laundry for those who were unable to leave their home during the pandemic due to disability, age, immune status, and other reasons. The program's 60 volunteers have helped hundreds of Kingstonians since its inception. Also during COVID-19, Valera founded Phone Calls for Social Wellness program, where a Faculty of Health Sciences student is paired with a member of Kingston's community for weekly calls to help prevent social isolation and promote social wellness during the pandemic. The program has over 120 logged phone conversations. And the two programs can work together. If during a conversation, a participant mentioned that there was a service that they needed, but were unable to get, the student phone call volunteer notified Valera and the rest of the K-Health team, and together the team helped the person access that service if possible. For example, during one phone conversation, a person with a disability mentioned that he was unable to pick up or drop off his laundry. Valera assigned a volunteer to help that person on a weekly basis. In addition to these two worthwhile services, Valera reached out to a number of already active community organizations in Kingston that help vulnerable residents, to establish partnerships with them and help in any way possible. For example, Valera organized a fundraiser for the Lionhearts Incorporated and raised over $2,500 to help provide nutritious meals for those in need. Moreover, Valera partnered with Loving Spoonful and was connecting volunteers from Faculty of Health Sciences to assist Loving Spoonful to run their programming to help Kingston's community members in need. Furthermore, Valera has launched K-Health's Academic Enrichment Program, which has 15 hours of educational training, 8 hours of experiential learning, and a final culminating activity of 5 hours, which aims to introduce and educate students on working with vulnerable populations, specifically on the importance of breaking down accessibility barriers and promoting diversity and inclusion in our community. Thank you, Valera, for breaking down barriers in our community.
I want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in to our virtual awards event. It's a great group of award winners this year, and I want to thank everybody for nominating and for the award winners. Thank you very much.